Hello. Well, here goes. I'm very nervous, but excited to do this and to share with you the meaning behind my lyrics and just to learn a little bit more about me and what I'm about. So, pull up a chair, get a coffee, and let's get into this. Firstly, I just feel so blessed to be able to have this opportunity to share with you. And many people say, I have to do this, I have to go to work, I have to provide for my family. But the way I see it is, it's not that I have to do it, but I'm lucky and blessed enough to get the opportunity to do it. So I don't have to do it, but I get the chance to do it. And that's why I'm doing this morning, so I can share with you how much I feel privileged to be in the position to do and create music. And I hope that this YouTube audio will inspire you not just to sit there and listen to what I'm saying and listen to my story, but it will encourage you and inspire you to get up and create your own story, create your own memories, create your own vision, create your own dreams. And as I always say, trust in God and have faith all the way. So let's begin. So where did this all start? Let's go right back to the beginning. I've always been brought up in church, singing, and around the age of 19, I landed my very first record deal with an independent record label. They were called Network Records, and that was based in the UK in Birmingham. I released a couple of songs, More Love, Where Love Lives, etc. And that led on to actually acquiring a major record deal with Universal Polydor Records, Wildcard to be precise. And that was life-changing for me, enabled me to travel, visit many countries, meet some very interesting people, some good, some not so good, but it was still an experience and I learned from it. That ended about 8 years later, and it was quite traumatic actually, doing something that you loved for 8 years and then it comes to an end. But that's where it all began. That's where I knew that my calling was in music and singing and writing. But I thought to some extent that may have been the end of it. But there was something, a still small voice that was telling me there's more to come. So here we are. And in 2022, no, it was before 2022. It was in 2019 when I went through quite a lot of difficult situations personally, that I started to rekindle my love for singing again. I was going through difficulties, both personally, work-wise, health-wise, and I started to tap back into what I know, which was my faith, my music. And I know sometimes in order to heal others, you have to first begin the healing process for yourself. And that was what music meant to me. So sitting in my living room one cold autumn, or was it spring? I think it was spring actually, one cold spring evening, I started to think about God, and I started to think about a scripture which talks about drinking from a well that won't run dry and being revitalized and being inspired. And then I came up with the words, living well. And straight as I came up with those two words, a melody just came to me. Literally, the melody to the chorus of Living Well was born, was created. And it was actually a play on words, because living well has one meaning in terms of the biblical reference, but also if you're drinking from a well that doesn't run dry, you are in fact in the natural living well. You're living well in terms of health, prosperity, your mindset, you have peace. So I thought, let's play on the words living well. You are my living well. I'll never thirst again. And because of that, I am living well. And that's where Living Well was born. I contacted my brother to record this song and he agreed. And thankfully, we were able to get this song recorded in 2021. And I released it, I think, in 2022. And that was the start of me embarking again on my musical ministry, my musical outlet. And it was just amazing. The reception I had from Living Well, the original, was quite overwhelming, actually. And I knew God was in on this. I knew it and I felt it. And I still believe now to this day that God is guiding me. So straight after that, I released Afrobeat version of Living Well, more up-tempo, wanting to reach out to as many people as I could with my music, with a different genre of music, but still the same message of hope. And that did quite well also. Then later on in 2022, I released Under My Wings. Now, the inspiration for this is from a scripture that talks about being protected under God's wings, where we are safe, nothing can harm us. And at the time I was feeling quite vulnerable. Health issues were holding me back to the point where I was struggling to literally sing and create the vowel sounds with my voice and my pharynx and my larynx, etc. But I still persevered. And that's where Under My Wings came from. Words like, I'm by your side, you'll never be lonely. Another part of my process is sometimes I'll literally hear something or a concept will come to me. And I do spend a lot of time reading, listening to podcasts. If something stands out to me in a podcast, it may be a word or a phrase, I tend to often reimagine that phrase and use that idea, if it resonates with me, as part of my new song. So sometimes literally I'll be in bed and 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm awake and I've got a lyric idea in my head. Lyrics, not necessarily melody at this point. There are times when I get the melody, yes, but there are times when I literally get a lyric line, which actually I believe is often more common in my situation. I get words, that must be from my training as an English teacher, but I do get words quite often and ideas. So I'll get up 2 o'clock in the morning, as I was saying, and I have to get them down. I have to write the ideas down on my pad or in a book. I like to write things down physically with a pen. If I'm feeling very, very tired, I will type it on my phone in my notes. But I do write lyrics down. The reason I do that is I've often found that if I didn't do that, the next morning I would have forgotten the idea or the concept or the theme for a particular song that I want to write. And I do believe that all of my songs have been inspired. They've all been inspired. They're not just songs for commercial means or to please people, but I write songs because I genuinely believe what I'm singing, and I hope that authenticity of my music comes out and is exposed, the truth of what I'm saying. And as I'm saying things from my spirit, it comes across that way. That's just my hope and my prayer. And more importantly, I do hope that my music helps to heal. Someone once texted me after listening to Whispering that he found my lyrics quite healing, and he was obviously going through some kind of difficult period in his life, some kind of trauma. And he did find listening to Whispering brought some kind of peace, consolation and healing to him. And that always stuck with me because, my gosh, if I can just do that for people to help them heal and to help them deal with issues, traumas, to help them deal with life, because life can be hard. And I am the first person to admit that at times I found it difficult. and I've struggled, but I've always been able to dig deep and find the strength in my faith and find the strength from God. In my weakness, you make me strong. So I don't rely upon myself. I rely upon God's strength, and that's what gets me through. That's my personal story. And I hope that resonates with you too, as my listeners. So yeah, I will write my lyrics on paper, and then the next day I will try and work around that. And that's when I usually get the melody. I don't even use keyboards or any instrumentation to find melodies. I literally hear melodies. Every song I've written, Living Well, Under My Wings, My King, Whispering, Waited Patiently, Walk With Me, the melodies, I literally hear them. And I never knew that was a gift before, but I'm realizing that in itself is a gift, to have a melody and then connect that with a vocal. So that's mainly what I want to share with you today. I hope that's given you a bit of insight about my history, where I am now, and I'll really appreciate if you would continue to listen to my music, keep supporting it, because guys and girls, I'm having fun. So I want this to continue forever. So please support me with what I'm doing. And I hope and pray that in some way you'll listen to my lyrics, you'll listen to the way I vocalize my songs, and it resonates with you in some way. Okay, my next single will be out in the next month or so, and that is entitled Desiring More. It's a more upbeat kind of dance and house influence, and I hope you can resonate with that one. Desiring More is just asking more. I need more. I want to do more. I'm enjoying this process, and I desire more from God. I'm expecting more from myself, and I'm challenging myself to do more with my music in 2024. So before I go, can I say a big thank you to my brother Mark with my music. A big thank you to Robert Walker, that was with me in day one with the original guitar playing of Living Well. Thank you to my lovely niece, Alicia, who has been so supportive with helping me with the backing vocals and having me moan and be very particular about how I want things. Thank you for your patience with me, Alicia. Thank you to Paul Shepherd, who we've now got on board, thankfully, with mastering my songs.